and welcome to our video in the series of interviews we have on women in digital currency. My name is Hayley Stootley. I'm coming to you from Perth in Western Australia, and I have been in the executive business development industry. I am an entrepreneur, but most of all, I am a mother of 3 beautiful sons. I'd like to welcome our panelists for today. We have Dana Steady. She is a featured entrepreneur, a busy mother of 4. She's also a featured expert on TV and radio in the online retail industry and a mentor to women in business. And she is one very busy lady who runs 4 businesses. So welcome to Dana. We also have Bernie Winera, who is a self-starter and has been self-employed for many years. She is a natural health practitioner and sports therapist who has looked after professional athletes on a national and international level. She is a mentor and trainer to international online business team. She's a mother of 2 and also runs 3 businesses. So welcome, Bernie. Today, we are super excited yet again to be joined by this particular man. He is the founder of the Coin Lifestyle and New Currency University. He is the author of the Amazon best-selling ebook, The 7th Disruption, The Rise of the Digital Currency Billionaire, the host of the TV show The Coin Prophet, a busy father of 3. So it is a massive welcome to an iconic leader, a wonderful educator in the digital currency world, one of our favourites all the way from Atlanta, Mr. Tom McM. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm excited about today's segment, Tom.
It's great to be here.
So now we want to be talking about the negative media. And so to give you an idea, so how do you separate fact and fiction on social media? So when you're shown an opportunity like One Life and One Coin, like we have been, and then you Google it, and what comes up is just super scary, to be honest. So tell me, give me the facts.
Well, I like to tell everybody you can Google just about anything and find negative media on it, and I just tell people, Google is a great search tool, but it's not a great research tool because the truth doesn't always come to the top. A lot of the times the garbage comes to the top, the people who jump on early on and publish negative media, because it's proven on Google that people are 6 times more likely to click on a negative article than they are a positive article. And so if you're an online marketer, it's pretty common to find something that's trending. We call them trending tools. So we look for what words are trending, like Donald Trump was trending recently. So was Hillary Clinton. And if you were an online marketer, you would publish a negative article about Donald Trump or Hillary Clinton to get more web traffic. Okay? Doesn't necessarily have to be true. In fact, we read a lot of lies and we saw a lot of stuff that was, that was probably the greatest example of how the internet actually works. And, and I'm sure there's good things about Donald Trump, there's good things about Hillary Clinton, but during the election, that stuff was nowhere to be found. And so in digital currency shares similar situation to that, in that, when Bitcoin first came out, OneCoin's got some negative media, but they are the biggest person on the totem pole. They say when you're at the top of the totem pole, guess what's showing? Your rear end. And, OneCoin's done a very good job of growing their business, 2.7 million members in 24 months. They are 100 times bigger than Bitcoin was 2 years in. Bitcoin also was very scary. I remember telling my wife, I put 500 in Bitcoin, and she saw the negative media online. It's like, oh my God, Silk Road was around. I had to explain Silk Road. Here's a website that uses Bitcoin for drug dealing, murder for hire, and all kinds of bad stuff. And that was the main storyline about Bitcoin 2 years into its development. So most people in their right mind, and I've never claimed to be in my right mind, have invested. They wouldn't have invested in it. And they say if you're 2 steps ahead of everybody, people think you're crazy. But if you're 1 step ahead of everybody, they think you're brilliant. Well, I think if you're in digital currency, you're somewhere in between. And so negative media, unfortunately, scares people away from digital currency, which is, it's a shame because we look at the great stories of what M-Pesa is doing with the 60 Minutes special, where they talked about Safaricom and M-Pesa and how it's lifting people out of poverty. And, not everybody in America watches 60 Minutes. Very few people do, actually. But, you don't hear the good stories about the women, the single women with children that are generating $500,000 a year, or the woman who has 19 other siblings and generates $500,000 in income in her first 12 months in digital currency, and more than she worked for her entire life. You don't hear about the guy that raises 2 cerebral palsy children that are 13 and 15 now, and they're 24-hour-a-day children, and he made over $200,000 last year in digital currency that allowed him to pay for his medical care. Those are the kind of stories that are being created by digital currency, and I would just encourage everybody to be very, very careful about what websites you're reading, and I'm sure we'll talk about some criteria that I have for websites. But it's one of those things that if internet scares you away from this, I'm just going to tell you right up front, shame on you.
That's a great topic. And what would your advice be to people who are experiencing people coming at them with negative press?
I don't know. I mean, like I said, I think if they watch this video, I mean, some people just are not cut out for early stage ventures. And I look at people and I say, listen, if your palms are going to sweat if you make more than 5% a year, digital currency is not for you. If you need a government guarantee from an acronymed agency, this is not for you. If you listen to your professional financial advisor, he's going to tell you, or she's going to tell you, don't be involved in this. And again, more importantly, if you think Google is the truth meter, this is definitely not for you, because I don't know. I mean, allowing Google to govern your decisions in your life is like the National Enquirer or the Globe, which are rags that we have in the United States that are nothing but, lies, and it's kind of like, honestly, so many people live their life based on what they listen on the news. And after the U.S. elections, if you think the news is telling the truth, you got another thing coming. So I would just say people that are swayed by negative media, welcome to mediocrity. Welcome to being a sheep, because the sheep listen to the mainstream media, and the people that are creating the mega wealth, like Mark Andreessen. And I like to tell people, I say, oh, so you found some negative media. Do you know who Mark Andreessen is? And people go, no. And I say, do you ever use the internet? And they go, yeah. I said, you know what a web browser is, right? And they go, yeah. And I said, well, the guy who invented the web browser, Mark Andreessen, he was the CTO, Chief Technical Officer of America Online. He was the co-founder of Wikipedia. He's probably the most prolific technological investor in the world. He's the single largest investor in digital currency. That's all I needed to know. I mean, when I heard Mark Andreessen was in this, I was like, where do I put my money? I'm no dummy. I don't listen to my brother-in-law who doesn't know anything about finances, or my brother. I listen to people, I listen to billionaires. Richard Branson's in this. He holds one of the most significant web conferences on Necker Island about digital currency. Then, once per year, you're lucky if you can get into it. I mean, it's like the biggest people in the world, financial advisors, secretaries of state. I mean, mega people go to that event. And so you look at what's going on in Switzerland now. I mean, Ernst & Young has put a Bitcoin ATM machine in their lobby of their building in Switzerland. And today they are telling everybody next year that all clients will be able to pay their bills with Bitcoin. Ernst & Young in Switzerland. Wouldn't you think that's probably like the most conservative place in the world? And so I tell people, I say, if you go to websites like CoinDesk is a great place to get good media. Okay. Cointelegraph's good, but they're a little bit sensationalized. And, I will say one thing about Cointelegraph, and this is a kind of a shame on you comment, that they've come out with negative media on Bitcoin, or on OneCoin, and it represents 19% of their website's traffic, that one article. And so, they're in the business of selling advertising. That's how they make their revenues. And if I reduce their traffic by 20% by them getting some ethics and actually taking that negative article down, then it's, it's game on. Then they're a credible organization. But Cointelegraph has some good articles. They do some good reporting. But unfortunately, they've turned into a bit of a National Enquirer Globe rag by reporting unfounded stuff. And it's kind of disappointing. But CoinDesk is a great resource. You don't see a lot of reporting out of Wall Street Journal. You don't see a lot of reporting out of CNBC. They're not, the mainstream media really hasn't figured out digital currency yet, but they will in the next 24 months.
Tom, this subject is just really important for me because it's one of the subjects that everybody asks me. As soon as you talk about cryptocurrency, because people don't understand the whole concept behind it. And so I absolutely love my country. Australia is just, it's fully in my heart. But the worst thing about Aussies is they can be so skeptic though. Anything new that comes out, they immediately get their back up and it's a scam. Like, don't touch it, you're bloody an idiot. Don't go there. Like, you'll waste all your money. Someone is going to run off with all your money. And yeah, fair enough, things like that have happened. But I'm trying to get it across that this is worldwide. This is like 2.7 million people in this. Like, how can someone's putting hundreds of thousands of dollars into it. How can that be a scam? They get onto Google, and of course you've got all those blogs that are trying to create like traffic, and so they're putting in, say you put in OneCoin scam, and of course all the traffic is going to go straight to them, so they get all the attention. But trying to explain that to someone is very hard for them to understand that. They actually take this website as true, and like, you've got to believe exactly what they've said. So how can I get across to people, or where can people go, like you just mentioned one then, to get facts, actual real facts that are proven that this is not a scam?
Well, it's a great question. I mean, where did we go in the early stages of the internet? I like to tell people, if the internet would have been around when the internet first launched, people wouldn't have used it for the first 10 years, because every article would have been Amazon's a scam, YouTube's a scam, pets.com was a scam. I mean, every article would have been, this company's a scam, and nobody would have invested in the internet. But today, the internet, people have learned that if you publish negative articles, you're going to get more traffic, you're going to make more revenue, and it has become part of the revenue model of the internet. And so, again, CoinDesk, I tell people, if you can't, I mean, Wall Street Journal does they're reputable. I mean, they might be biased sometime, but for the most part, they really, if you end up on the front page of Wall Street Journal, they've dug into you pretty hard. And I look at companies like OneCoin. They did a brand voice cover with Forbes magazine. Forbes magazine does not let you do a brand voice cover unless they do due diligence on you. There's a thing called LexisNexis that they have access to, every advertiser does, and they pull your name before they do anything with you. And if there's anything negative on LexisNexis, they're not going to do business with you. It doesn't matter if you're paying them $1 million or not. Okay? When OneCoin went to, Dr. Rusha went to The Economist magazine, and they made her the keynote speaker, the media said that it was because she was the largest sponsor. These magazines don't do that. Okay, they have more reputation than that. So when she became the keynote speaker at the Future of Payments in Europe for The Economist magazine, The Economist magazine has got a very long-standing track record of being a great magazine. Okay, they're not going to put some MLM scheme woman at the front of their room doing a conference on the future of payments, and they're going to do a LexisNexis on her. Okay, none of these publications will do that. When Financial IT did their article on Dr. Rusha, again, Chris Principe, very good editor. I mean, he is a quality person. He did a LexisNexis on Rusha. I'm Dr. Rusha. I'm most sure of that. And any publication that's out there that's going to do an article or anything, they're going to do a deep background search. Okay. And I look at, there are people that said that the founder of OneCoin did not go to Oxford. She's got her diploma on her website. Go to drrushaignatova.com and you'll find there's her certificate from Oxford. They said she didn't work at McKinsey. Go to her website. It shows that she worked at McKinsey. She was the youngest partner at McKinsey. So, it's kind of like, again, go to Cointelegraph, and you will see at one time they were promoting NewCoin. NewCoin's no longer around anymore. It's not on their website anymore. And then they started promoting Coins, no longer around anymore. So you just have to be very careful about who you're listening to. There are other blogs. I don't even like to even name them because they don't deserve the credit because they're not really blogs. If the editor is not listed on the blog, that's pretty suspect, wouldn't you think? It's kind of like the Wall Street Journal had no editor. They'd be like, yeah, I don't think I'm really going to believe in this organization. So if they have lots of banners on their website and they're pumping binary options or some type of stock program or some type of other financial product, I would say be very careful. And if you give websites that credibility that have no founder or no editorial staff on their board or on their website, if you give them credit, I sincerely question your judgment and your sanity as an individual, because that just doesn't make any sense to me. So I just like to tell people that, look at mainstream media, but at the end of the day, I don't have a crystal ball. I don't know if OneCoin is going to be the biggest currency in the world. I don't know if Bitcoin is going to be it. I don't know if Ethereum is going to be it, but they're all multi-billion-dollar companies in market cap, with the exception of Ethereum, but they're billion-dollar market caps, and I'm going to put a little bit of money in each one because I don't know which one's going to become the biggest. And, building a portfolio I know is one of our core subjects, but I believe that, diversification is very important. And I believe that, again, if you allow Google to talk you out of this opportunity, shame on you. That'd be like letting Google talk you out of investing in the internet. And I'll leave you this last story. I had a financial advisor. I had $40,000 I was going to put into Amazon in '94, and he talked me out of it because he said their business model would never make it because they'd never turn a profit, and that would have been worth $6 million today. And again, he wasn't a blogger, but he was a reputable person who was representing the interest of his stock brokerage firm, and they told me not to do it. So I don't know. Be careful about who you listen to. My number one rule of investing is don't take financial advice from people who work 9 to 5, and don't take financial advice from blogs who don't list the editors and who market other financial opportunities on their blogs.
Tom, I think that was actually one of my favorite interviews with you so far. I've just got so many takeaway notes from that. Having Dr. Rujna, so the founder, her credentials, I remember you sending me her credentials, and it was mind-blowing. And also, I think the whole idea, like you were saying, is about linking in and being educated by professionals and experts in the industry, not just anybody. And also this, I think for me, it was like maybe everybody, you go through those stages of fear. So that first stage of fear is maybe the fear of losing, of getting into something that's unknown. But then the stage, I think I went the fear of missing out on something that is just so phenomenal. So And another take, like at the end of the day, for me, it was, you don't put all of your eggs in one basket, but it's do your research, but do research from creditable sources. So hence why we have linked in with you guys. And from there, that is when, the light bulbs go off. So thank you. I appreciate it.
Let me say this about OneCoin. Not only have very prominent individuals joined the company, Pablo Munoz, Senior VP of Tupperware and Avon, joined the company. You think he maybe did some due diligence before he joined the company. This is a very credible person that's been in the industry for a long time. And then, of course, as I mentioned with Forbes and Economist, but there are companies that have merged with OneCoin with 250,000 people. Now, when you have 250,000 people, you have a legal staff, you have accountants, and you're going to ask OneCoin for due diligence before you put your name on the line and merge with them. And then you've got some of the biggest network marketing leaders in the world. They just didn't sign up on the website. They flew to Bulgaria and they asked for due diligence to be done before they put their name on the line. So I just think it's funny when you look at the pundits that are out there. Again, they are no-name people. They, they make money off of advertising, and they pump other deals. And again, if all I need to know is Mark Andreessen is involved in this industry in blockchain-based technology, that's all I need to know. And if you don't know who he is, look him up, and Tim Draper, and Elon Musk, and Peter Thiel, and the smartest money in the world is in digital currency. And again, I'm a big believer in building a diversified portfolio of digital currency, and it's just a shame. I hate to see people's dreams smeared by no-name bloggers and negative media. It's just a shame.
I've just written down here because it was honestly, I don't think I could have nodded my head any more in an interview than what I have now. Boom. That's it. Where do I sign, Tom? Holy moly, this is amazing. Thank you so much. So everyone, please stay tuned, because we'll be continuing our series of videos on the core topics of digital currency with Tom. We look forward to you joining us, and we look forward to being able to educate you on this phenomenal future that is available to all of us. So, and also don't miss our next video. We're going to be talking to Tom about how to create a portfolio of cryptocurrency. Thanks everyone for joining, and we look forward to seeing you soon. See ya.